In this video, I talk strategies for how a research site can collect their payments. Hey Guru Nation, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thank you so much for watching and for sending your questions. And I'm pulling up the question I got right now from someone. It was a very good question actually. And Chris is my business partner, sometimes he jumps on my brand new podcast, which is Random Musings from the Clinical Trials Guru. It is on Stitcher. It is waiting final approval to get on iTunes. It will be there in a few days, maybe in a couple weeks at the most. So I'm uploading that interview to YouTube as well. But I'm going to have a lot of podcast-only content this year. So we answered this question in depth on that podcast today. But I just wanted to do like a quick 7-minute YouTube video on it. So let me just read the question, okay? As we all know, there's usually a problem with cash flow in clinical trials from a research site perspective. CROs and sponsors typically pay, at least in the contracts it says, in a timely manner, okay? Either 30 days or quarterly payments, whatever you can negotiate. By the way, if you need help negotiating your contracts and budgets, in addition to helping you find studies for your sites, completing feasibility surveys for your sites, completing source documents, creating your SOPs, I can help, we can help. I have a whole team of people that help negotiate your contracts and budgets, and we're going to get you payment terms. But you can put whatever payment terms you want. It's up to the CRO or the sponsor to pay you, okay? And as we all know, anyone who's been in this industry long enough, and by long enough I mean more than 12 months, knows that payments, regardless of what it says in the contracts, are always late. Always. Okay, this would not be acceptable in any other industry, but in our industry, it's the status quo. So, and let me continue reading. An invoice has been issued by our site after CRA approval and sent to a proper person in CRO. The money is still overdue. I called the CRO to clarify the matter. I'm still waiting for their feedback. I know eventually it's going to come. Would you be so kind to share with me what are the strategies in dealing with delayed payments? What is your tactic in relationship to following up with the CROs? What is your strategy to accelerate overdue payments? So, I learned this from a business partner of mine, an older, wiser, much wealthier gentleman, and it's called the Dr. Pepper method. I have no idea why he calls it Dr. Pepper method. I'm assuming it's because you need a lot of caffeine in you. But it could just as easily be called the Diet Coke or the coffee method. Whatever you want to call it. What it means, you start at 9 a.m., you end at 5 p.m. And every day, every 15 minutes, you call the person on your contract if you have a payment analyst that would assign to you. If you don't, you call your project manager every 15 minutes until you get a response, okay? You will not make it past 3 o'clock. I've done this several times. You piss people off, that's okay, because they should understand that getting your money is important to you. And I only do this when I know for a fact that money is overdue, long overdue, meaning 2-3 months overdue, and when I'm absolutely, positively, 100% sure that it is overdue and that we've done everything on our end, such as answering queries and all that stuff. A lot of people, understandably, when they're new, they're worried about upsetting the CRO and perhaps the CRO will not work with them again. That's not, from my experiences, that's not typically what happens, okay? You want to be friendly. When they eventually do pick up their phone, you tell them, hey, look, project manager, understand I'm running a small business. Even if you have a huge research site, it's still a small business compared to these CROs. I'm running a small business. We have staff that work tirelessly on this project, and we need this payment, okay? It's not like I'm going to go buy a private jet or buy a brand new car. I need to pay my staff. I need to pay the rent. I need to pay the patients. I need to pay the bills. We need this cash flow, or else I wouldn't be calling you every 15 minutes. That's a strategy that works. Don't worry about what the CRO will think of you by doing this, because you're a business person and they should understand that if they're going to be sending you late payments, they should expect a couple phone calls. So The first challenge is to get someone on the phone, probably the project manager. Even if you do get the payment analyst on the phone, I would still call the project manager. Maybe I wouldn't give them the Dr. Pepper method, but I would at least communicate to them that, hey, this is important to us, all that stuff I just mentioned. Okay, get someone on the phone. Then find out where the roadblocks are. So I had a study, now it's like 4 years ago already. We were owed about $150,000 outstanding, okay? And this was an inpatient study, so not only did we have to pay our patients, our staff, our office bills, utilities, all that stuff, we had inpatient costs, so we had to pay the facility rent every month to have beds and have nurses take care of our study patients. All right, so that was expensive, and we really needed this cash flow. So what happened was I did the Dr. Pepper method. I got the payment analyst, then I called the project manager, and we found out after a couple days of further follow-up phone calls, the CRA assigned to our site did all the source data verification, because that's what ended up triggering the payments. And again, every study is different. Some studies, the payments are triggered when the CRA reviews the data. Other studies, the payments are triggered through the IWRS, and they never tell you how it's triggered. So you need to find out from the project manager what triggers a payment. And this is exactly what we did in this case. What happened was the CRA was doing all the SDV, a very nice CRA. She ended up getting transferred somewhere else. But she may have been nice, but she wasn't helping us get paid. And she wasn't doing it intentionally. She was doing the SDV, but she didn't realize she had to do another step internally that had nothing to do with the site to submit our visits as being done and ready to get paid. So she wasn't doing that, again, not intentionally, but that's what was causing the block in the payments. So first challenge, get someone on the phone. Second challenge, find out where the roadblocks are. And then third, like I always say in my videos, follow up, follow up, follow up. Be proactive. Now that you know where the roadblocks are, you can then, for the same study and for future payments, be proactive about it. Tell the CRO, call your CRA and tell her or him, hey, did you do this, did you do such and such, because we can't afford any more delayed payments. They all understand, especially if you're a good site, providing good clean data, providing a good number of patients to be enrolled in the study. So don't look at this as being a nuisance, and remember, the squeaky wheel is the one that gets greased, okay? So you want to finesse it a little. You don't want to just be super aggressive and say, hey, we need our payments, and get super hostile with the project manager or with the CRA, but you want to be proactive about it and make sure that your site is getting paid on time, okay? As far as what you can do in contracts and budgets, you can try to negotiate, and I know we talked with Chris about this on the podcast, you can try to negotiate a late fee for some of your studies, to where if your payments are late, you can charge them a fee. I've always wanted to do this. I don't think we've ever done it. I don't know anyone else who does do this, but if anyone out there charges late fees to CROs or sponsors, let me know. Because maybe that's something we can all start doing, right? So those are some things you can do. Definitely get monthly payments, not quarterly payments. Okay, that's the bare minimum you should be doing, is getting monthly payments. Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thank you very much, Guru Nation. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.